as much as they're fighting for their city, we're trying to fight for our city. So I think this is a great series for the NBA. I think it kind of gives a little bit of old school vibes. I think that this is great, for kids watching who haven't been able to see old school basketball to see this kind of reminiscent game of old school physicality. And I'm just honored to be part of it.
Okay, so hopping back to the fourth quarter and dealing with the Pistons and their issues with closing out these games. We already seen their limited options with allowing Asar Thompson to go one-on-one, even though he was cold. And Cunningham, just like in games 1 and 3, he continues to have issues going down the stretch and is unable to keep his turnovers down. That's really been the difference in this series. Brunson, on the other hand, is actually converting and executing in very key pivotal moments. Cunningham, just like Jalen Brunson in his first season with the Knicks in Game 6 in Miami, he's going to have to go one-on-one a lot and make a lot of tough contested shots. Cade again dealing with a lack of options. Look how OG just shoves Dennis Schroeder. JB does a great job hedging right here while OG just recovers. Yeah, this is a lot for Cade to deal with. This is a young player once again. He's going to take a tough contested shot right here. Just in and out. And one thing in this series that you gotta love is the fact that it highlighted the Knicks' depth and how much perimeter defenders that they have. It's been a great combination of multiple efforts from Mikal, OG, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, and even the extra efforts and attention to details from Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns hedging or just getting in the way of Cade just going downhill to the hoop. And we can see it play out with the Knicks defending the 1-point lead. Cade gets the switch, gets OG off of him, but he still got to deal with a lot. Josh Hart with a beautiful strip. And look at the lineup out there. No matter who Cade switches on, we got Deuce, OG, Josh Hart, Mikal, and then he has to meet Mitch at the cup if he gets past anybody. That's a hell of a task for a young player just going through his progressions in the playoffs. And don't get it fucked up. Cade had his opportunities to put the game away. Right here's a clean look. But it will all come with time and experience for Cade, because Jalen Brunson, on the other hand, he was in his bag off rip. And that's what playoff experience does to players. Keep in mind, Jalen Brunson was in the Western Conference Finals with Luka the season before he joined the Knicks. And they also relied on him for about 2 to 3 games going up against Donovan Mitchell in the Utah Jazz series. So when you're looking at JB, you're seeing the culmination of a number of things. We got to sprinkle on top of that him going up against the Miami Heat in a series where none of the starters were really giving anything other than him on the offensive end. And this is going up against Eric Spoelstra, who's really a coach when it's all said and done, will probably end up on the level of Greg Popovich. But even back then, they were unable to stop him. And that was just a warning from Jalen Brunson to the rest of the league. And last season is where everything came together and was pretty much undeniable when it came to Jalen Brunson. The Knicks went through a number of injuries during the regular season. He did not have as many weapons on the roster, but that did not matter. JB put everything on his back, especially in the months of February, March, and April. And him wearing that load carried over into the playoffs. Completely overwhelming at the time, the reigning MVP in the Philadelphia 76ers. They could have as many excuses as they want. The Knicks were depleted with injuries, and Jalen Brunson carried them right over Joel Embiid. So JB has definitely been in the lab, and he's used to carrying the workload a certain way and without certain help. Most importantly, keep that in mind, without the help. So with the additions of Mikal and Karl Anthony Towns, things are going to come a lot easier. Definitely can't forget those two. Mikal played great defense down the stretch, making timely three-point shots even though he didn't shoot well. And when things got extra tight, Karl Anthony Towns came through with the extra momentum stopping buckets. Let's not forget that when we look back in this series, Karl Anthony Towns was able to knock down some buckets to stop a lot of the momentum the Pistons had in games 3 and 4. But it is what it is. A lot of things are going to have to get cleaned up. The bench scoring is going to have to participate a little bit more than it has, because in this series, man, we've been getting our asses kicked with the bench points. And without the even balanced scoring from Cat, Bridges, OG, and Brunson, it would have been a completely different story. And the third quarters, when things kind of get tight or stagnant, can Tibbs kind of pivot? Because with the Pistons, we kind of fell into their up and down game during games 3 and 4. And with the Boston Celtics, that's not going to really work as well. They love to spread the floor. Their defense loves to set up. Can we pivot from what they actually don't like to do? And what schemes will Tibbs actually come up with? That's one thing I'm going to be on the lookout for. But we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully the Knicks end up closing this out quick, because the Pistons, unfortunately for them, they just don't have enough experience. But until next time, you fellas stay safe